Today, we are going to be putting together a basic toolkit for the CRF300L and Rally model. So I've collected a lot of stuff here. Before we start putting the toolkit together, I'm gonna go through each item and so you guys can see what it is. And I will put links for all of this stuff down in the description. So to start off, we've got this tool roll. This is a Tusk cache tool roll. I think it's a pretty nice tool roll. It's got a nice little magnetic pad here for when you're working out in the field and you don't want to lose bolts and stuff. It also has a little zipper pouch here for small items. So we're gonna load this up with all these different tools. I've got a Tusk tire repair kit. And this is a nice, just very nice compact little kit. It's got everything you need for tubeless and tubed repair, which obviously the CRF has tubes, so we'll be using that more so. But this can be used on other bikes too that are tubeless, so that's another thing going for it. So the kit comes with some tubeless repair tools, an inflator hose, a couple of CO2 cartridges. Let's see, let's get this out. Rubber cement for tube patches. Actually got 2 tubes of that. A bunch of inner tube patches. A little rasp to use on the inner tube. And that's just to rough it up before you put the patch on. Little X-Acto knife to trim off a plug. Valve core tool. Tire plugs for tubeless tires, and then a tire pressure gauge. So really, just about everything you need to repair a tire in the field. So this is a great little kit. I'm really happy with this. So we'll just put everything back in now. All right, so there's that kit. If you do it just right, the Tusk tire repair kit will fit into the toolbox on the CRF300. So to get it in there, you kind of have to put it at an angle before you close the door, and then you can just kind of squeeze it in there, snap the one side, and then snap the other. And there it is. Next up, let's see. All right, so the CRF300L and Rally use a 14mm front axle, and they use a 24mm axle nut on the rear. So I found this tool on Amazon. I'll put the link for this down below. It's got a 14mm Allen head for the front axle. It actually comes off, which is kind of neat. And then I got this Tusk tire iron with a wrench. And this is a 24mm hex wrench. So this will work on the rear axle as is, and it's also a tire iron. And then when I want to do the front axle, I've got the 14mm on here, and then a 24 here, and that fits right there. So I can do the front axle using this and the tool for the rear axle, which I think is super, super cool. One less tool I gotta carry. All right, let's see, next is just a couple of crescent wrenches, a 10mm and a 12mm. Now the reason you need an open-ended 10mm and a 12mm is so that when you take this wheel off, you have the tools needed to adjust the chain tension. So these are the chain slack adjusters. And in order to adjust these, you need a 10mm to back out the bolt, and then you need a 12mm to tighten down the lock nut. This is gonna give you the ability to take the wheel off in the field and adjust the tension on the chain. And then next up is a Tusk folding T-handle set. So it just unfolds like that, and then I've got good leverage on these. So these are just sockets. Variety of sizes, and this one is a driver for the Phillips head attachment, as well as a flat head attachment. And this is the big reason why I got this set, is because it has a screwdriver. There are a lot of screwed parts on the bike, so this is going to be really useful. And then these are just going to make it easy to get to some of the harder to reach hex head bolts that the crescent wrenches have a hard time reaching. In order to change the oil while you're out in the field, you'll need a 17mm socket for the oil drain bolt. I need to get one that has a 1/4" drive, so I'm still looking for that. I'm either gonna run this one, which is a 3/8 drive with a 1/4" adapter, or I'm gonna find a 17mm with a 1/4" drive. But yeah, that's gonna go in the toolkit too. All right, next up, just a couple of loose Allen wrenches, a 5mm, a 6mm, and a 3mm. Now this one is for my quad lock mount. This is just in case it gets loose or anything like that, but I don't think really anything else on the bike uses this. The 5 and the 6 are the most common sizes on the bike, so these will get used a lot. Next up is just a couple of old tire irons that I had already. So these will just be good to have. You need minimum 2 tire levers to get a tire off, so I'll have 3, I'll have 1 backup, but there's nothing wrong with that. Next up is just a pair of pliers. I had this pair already, so it's good to have a pair of pliers. Handful of zip ties. This is a Snapjack. I actually didn't buy this. It came with the bike when I bought it, and I figured I might as well just keep it and use it. So this is basically a way to lift one of the wheels of the bike so you can get the wheel off and change the tire. So basically, this part goes here, this cradles on a part of the frame or whatever on the bike. You raise it up, put the pin in, and then this piece goes here and this sits on the ground like that. And then it gives you a way to lift the bike. And then this is a strap to hold the front brake lever while you do this, so that the bike doesn't roll if you're doing the rear wheel. All right, I think that's all the parts. Now let's start getting into the actual toolkit. I'll take that tag off. All right. First up, we'll put the Snapjack in. I'm gonna put it out here on the end. And then all of the smaller parts for the Snapjack are going to go in this zipper pocket. Next up, crescent wrenches. Let's put those like right there, maybe. 2 extra tire levers. This can just go right next to it. Pliers. Put those in 2 holes right there. Zip ties. These are just loose and I don't want these to fall out, so I'm gonna put these on the farthest inside pocket so that they'll be wrapped up really nice and they won't fall out or anything. All right, these loose Allen wrenches will go just in the zipper pocket. I don't know what this is, but it came in the stock toolkit. So I'm just gonna toss it in there. Maybe one of you guys in the comments can tell me what this is. All right, folding T-handle, you can throw that right there. All of the sockets and drivers for this, toss in the zipper pouch. 24mm axle nut and tire iron, go right there. And then last piece, last piece is the front axle tool. And that can go, let's move these, that can go right here. I'll put these over here. All right, last thing that I forgot to mention is a rag. You can never underestimate the importance of having a nice clean rag when you're working on this stuff out in the middle of nowhere. So we'll just fold it like that, and we'll just leave it loose in here and it'll get folded in to the toolkit. Yeah, that should be good right there. All right, so zip that shut, fold it over. Make sure the snapjack's all the way in. Fold this over. And then, you know what? I'm actually gonna flip this around so that the thick part is on top. Fold this over. Fold that once. Fold that once. And then we'll be able to snap the buckle and tighten that down. All right, there we go. This toolkit is really too big to be mounted kind of anywhere down here. You could strap it down to a luggage rack if you wanted to, but that's also not really the point of a toolkit like this. This is really something that gets thrown into some luggage when you're going on a long trip. So that's kind of the intention here. If I'm going on like a day trip or something, I can just strap it down to the luggage rack, but otherwise it'll go into a saddle bag or something like that. All right guys, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I certainly enjoyed putting this toolkit together. I like making little kits like this and stuff like that, so I really appreciate everyone who watches these videos. So yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one.